Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I want to revisit Love Like the Galaxy. When the drama came out, I was watching it as it was airing and I was enjoying it and I was very much reeled in by the romance. But I want to talk about Love Like the Galaxy from the perspective of somebody that, looking back, isn't actually as enthralled by the romance as I once was. So let's get into it. Love Like the Galaxy stars Zhao Lucy as the female lead, Cheng Xiaosheng, and the male lead is played by Wu Lei, and he plays the male lead, Ling Buyi. And Ling Buyi falls in love with Cheng Xiaosheng pretty much at first sight, and also, well, kind of not at first sight. He sees her talking in a carriage and kind of like likes her vibe, and then he sees her and falls in love at like a festival later on, and she has no clue this is happening, and then he ends up proposing to her and she has no clue he ever liked her, so she's very, very confused, and they end up getting married because he's very close with the emperor, and they basically get an imperial approved marriage, and stuff then continues after that. My problems with the drama now is the fact that Ling Buyi is a very dark character. I'm okay with dark characters. I've definitely watched shows with dark characters before, but his love for Cheng Xiaosheng seems more infatuation than actual love. He doesn't know much about her before he meets her, and even when he's with her, it seems like he is trying to shape her into a different kind of person. And as she also falls deeper in love with Ling Buyi, she does become a different person. Now, you can argue that love changes you and it changes the way that you behave, but I genuinely feel like Cheng Xiaosheng loses herself in relationship with Ling Buyi, especially because part one is very much focused on Cheng Xiaosheng and her family life and the difficulties she has with her mother, her grandfather, and her grandmother and stuff like that. That part two being that Cheng Xiaosheng goes to the palace and is now just seen as Ling Buyi's bride and Ling Buyi's wife. It's like, who is Cheng Xiaosheng, when she's not with Ling Buyi, and how are people perceiving her, and who is she to herself? And again, second time, you can argue that spoiler, like the 5-year gap between Ling Buyi, deciding to take revenge on his family and what happened, and her, it's time for her to build herself. But let's face it, she was so heartbroken from losing him to revenge, to him not telling her the truth because she thinks she's a yapper, that she just mourned him for 5 years and didn't think about obviously remarrying him because she was still very much in love with Ling Buyi. And the same goes for Ling Buyi too. Like, he could think about nothing else but her. But it's like, even when she was given space, right, the possibility that they would never get back together, she still didn't really come back to who she always was and return to that Cheng Xiaosheng that we know. And I think it's unfair. I think it's unfair to build up the character like that. And they do get reunited at the end, and we don't really get to see a wedding or anything. They're just together. But I can't help but feel like, I'm asking Cheng Xiaosheng as a character, from a viewer to the character, who are you now that you're with him? How have you changed, and how have you also lost yourself being with him? And those are the questions I found myself asking, and I ended up being quite disappointed. Another thing that is less important, in my personal opinion, is the fact that part two was mainly focused on the palace politics rather than the relationship between Cheng Xiaosheng and Ling Buyi. It definitely took a backside to everything else that was happening, primarily because of Ling Buyi's revenge story. So Ling Buyi's part two is definitely about him more like, and I feel like we got almost more screen time with Ling Buyi and his story than we did with Cheng Xiaosheng, and I can't help but feel like that's kind of unfair. So those are my opinions. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and if you like my channel, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.